Lamentations 3. I am the man who has seen affliction by the rod of the Lord's wrath. He has driven me away and made me walk in darkness rather than light. Indeed, he has turned his hand against me again and again all day long. He has made my skin and my flesh grow old and has broken my bones. He has besieged me and surrounded me with bitterness and hardship. He has made me dwell in darkness like those long dead. He has walled me in so I cannot escape. He has weighed me down with chains. Even when I call out or cry for help, he shuts out my prayer. He has barred my way with blocks of stone. He has made my paths crooked. Like a bear lying in wait, like a lion in hiding. He dragged me from the path and mangled me and left me without help. He drew his bow and made me the target for his arrows. He pierced my heart with arrows from his quiver. I became the laughing stock of all my people. They mock me in song all day long. He has filled me with bitter herbs and given me gall to drink. He has broken my teeth with gravel. He has trampled me in the dust. I have been deprived of peace. I have forgotten what prosperity is. So I say my splendor is gone and all that I had hoped from the Lord. I remember my affliction and my wandering, the bitterness and the gall. I well remember them, and my soul is downcast within me. Yet this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They're new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him. To the one who seeks him, it is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. It is good for a man to bear the yoke while he is young. Let him sit alone in silence, for the Lord has laid it on him. Let him bury his face in the dust. There may yet be hope. Let him offer his cheek to the one who would strike him, and let him be filled with disgrace. For no one is cast off by the Lord forever. Though he brings grief, he will show compassion. So great is his unfailing love. For he does not willingly bring affliction or grief to anyone. To crush underfoot all prisoners in the land, to deny people their rights before the Most High, to deprive them of justice. Would not the Lord see such things? Who can speak and have it happen if the Lord has not decreed it? Is it not from the mouth of the Most High that both calamities and good things come? Why should the living complain when punished for their sins? Let us examine our ways and test them, and let us return to the Lord. Let us lift up our hearts and our hands to God in heaven and say, we've sinned and rebelled, and you have not forgiven. You have covered yourself with anger and pursued us. You have slain without pity. You have covered yourself with a cloud, so that no prayer can get through. You've made us scum and refuse among the nations. All our enemies have opened their mouths wide against us. We have suffered terror and pitfalls, ruin and destruction. Streams of tears flow from my eyes because my people are destroyed. My eyes will flow unceasingly without relief until the Lord looks down from heaven and sees. What I see brings grief to my soul because of all the women of my city. Those who were enemies without cause hunted me like a bird. They tried to end my life in a pit and threw stones at me. The waters closed over my head, and I thought I was about to perish. I called on your name, Lord, from the depths of the pit. You heard my plea. Do not close your ears to my cry for relief. You came near when I called you, and you said, do not fear. You, Lord, took up my case. You redeemed my life. Lord, you have seen the wrongs done to me. Uphold my cause. You've seen the depth of their vengeance and all their plots against me. Lord, you have heard their insults and all their plots against me. When my enemies whisper and mutter against me all day long, look at them. Sitting or standing, they mock me in their songs. Pay them back what they deserve, Lord, for what their hands have done. Put a veil over their hearts, and may your curse be on them. Pursue them in anger and destroy them from under the heavens of the Lord. I've heard that no one knows who wrote this. Sounds like Jeremiah to me right here. But then sometimes it sounds like David, doesn't it? I guess it doesn't really matter because it's the pattern of God and what he does with his people. The reason I read this is because I was journaling a little while ago. He's been bringing me into this position of understanding what it is, why it's so important for us to be brought to the wall so that we're totally broken into position. And I was saying in the assembly earlier, like, sometimes I feel like I'm brought to the wall, and like, when you're like when people are throwing food at the wall, like to see what sticks or whatever, like I feel like an egg that's been thrown against the wall and it's dripping down the wall right now. That's how much he's breaking me into position. Like, I feel like I've been thrown against the wall and now I'm just a gooey mess. But there's like an odd comfort in that. There's an odd comfort in finally breaking, because you can see certain things, you can understand certain things. You're not like, the flesh is just broken. Like it's I don't know, when you're stretching something and it just keeps popping and it's finally like all the pop is out of it. So I was writing about like what he was doing and what I'm seeing and why it's so important for us to for him to bring us into that position. And then I started writing about him knowing my name and me being in his name and my name being written in his book, and that there's no hold over me because there's no hold over him. And then I'm going to have victory, that he'll hear the cries of his people, that he loves us, that he won't let us down, that he will bring victory, and that he'll reveal his glory, that I have no plan but him. He's my plan. And that's like a hard thing that he's been working me into, is like, I don't need a plan, because I was really getting upset that he didn't, why didn't you tell me things sooner? I could have planned. He's my plan. And it just so happens that if he told me things sooner and I made a plan, then I would have believed in my plan. I would have believed in what I do instead of believing what he does. It would be a stumbling block to me, and he knows what's good. And like verse 33 says, he doesn't bring grief willingly, but you can see in the rest of the chapter, he brings grief. 33 says he doesn't bring it willingly. He knows what he's doing. And so then I started writing, you are my portion, you are my possession in Israel. And I started to remember that in his word, he says that he is our portion, he is our inheritance, he is our possession in Israel, that's how he talks to his priests. He is our portion, he is our possession, he is our inheritance. We are our beloved's, and our beloved is ours. He takes care of his house. He provides for his temple. He provides for his servants. He is the inheritance of Israel. He is the portion of Israel, and he is to be our possession. And see, when I was living in the world, I didn't have any of that. I didn't have a guarantee in anybody or anything. So it's different for me. And the world taught me that I needed to plan all these things by the work of my hands. So it's kind of weird for me to just sit back and give all of this space for the glory of God to be revealed and to be brought low so that his glory can be revealed to me and through me. But I'm holding on to this tonight, that he is my portion, he is my inheritance, he is my possession. I don't need any other possession, because if I am my beloved's and my beloved is mine, he's going to take care of me. But remember that I say if I'm truly in him, that's the only thing that I need to make sure of. Am I truly in him? Am I truly following his instruction? Have I done that correctly? That's the part I need to be worried about, not my plans. I couldn't save myself. What are my plans going to do for me? I hope that encourages anyone who's going through it right now. I know a couple of people who are. It's a season for that. As a matter of fact, seems to be a season for that. So I hope this encourages you, and I hope you'll discern it with him.